The Harden trade might be the worst trade I've seen in a while. There is no realm of reality in which this works out for the Clippers. At this point, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse when it comes to James Harden, but I can't help the fact that the NBA doesn't seem to want to learn.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Even before the trade, everyone seemed to have their own opinions, with the overall consensus being that this is the dumbest shit the Clippers could have done.
The Clippers will be James Harden's fourth team in the last 4 seasons. In that time, he's gone from Houston to Brooklyn to Philly and now LA.
On paper, it looks good, but I don't know which Harden is going to show up. I don't know which Harden they want to show up. You want the scoring Harden, or you want the Harden to, be a facilitator? I'm hearing all these guys talking on TV about what option he's going to be, and I agree. Right now, he's the fourth option. And we've never seen a fourth option James Harden. James is the guy that puts it between his legs, controls the ball most of the shot clock, and shoots.
But I thought it was a mistake to sign James Harden anyway, because I didn't think they needed another scorer. I didn't think they needed another ball handler. I think with PG, Kawhi, Russ, and Terrence Mann, I thought they had plenty of scoring. Maybe if you want to go out and get a defender, maybe if you want to go out and get another big alongside Zubac. But you're saying James Harden to be James Harden, so what's Kawhi supposed to do while that's going on?
As Ernie Johnson has said in the clip, this is the fourth team for Harden in 4 years. Clearly, there is no sense of loyalty being shown from Harden for his teams. While Harden has had his reasons to leave these teams, there isn't any sign that this pattern will stop. I can easily see Harden being unhappy with Kawhi and Paul George if they get injured again and requesting another team all over again. I've made multiple videos on Harden already, and again, it's just getting repetitive at this point. The lack of respect Harden has for his teams is astounding. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the Clippers and 76ers specifically. I know people will debate it's too early to say, but the Clippers 100% lost this trade, which is why I said it's one of the worst I've seen in a while. I had this opinion as soon as the trade was made, and since then, the Clippers proceeded to have gone 0-4 with Harden, which just makes everything seem even worse. I mentioned this on a podcast episode with Up the Score and made a short out of it, in which people had their own takes, but this basically summarizes my opinion. This is his fourth team in the past 4 years. Who's to say he's not going to try and join the Lakers or another team like next year? It's going to be the same thing as the Nets. I'm calling it now. Everybody was like, oh, KD, Kyrie, Harden, it's over for the league. And people like try to do the same thing now where they're like, oh, we got Westbrook, we got Harden, we got Kawhi, we got Paul George. Oh, we got like a super stacked team. And how many games have Paul George and Kawhi played together? It's going to be the same exact thing with the Nets, where at least one of them is injured like every game and they're not going to play together.
I don't know, 20 points and 10 assists sounds pretty good for me, bro.
But at what cost, though? Like,
that's what I'm saying. At what cost?
You get to the playoffs and he has one good game in the playoffs. Every other place James Harden went, he got what he asked for. He went to the Rockets, right?
Exactly.
He got Dwight Howard. He ended up getting CP3. He ended up getting Russell Westbrook. That didn't work. He goes to the Nets. He has Kevin Durant. He has Kyrie. That lasts all of one season.
As I said, the Clippers fell into the same trap the Nets did, seeing a super team on paper rather than evaluating everything behind it. When the Nets traded for their big three, they gave away Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and additional draft compensation for KD. They then gave Jarrett Allen and Chris LeVert, as well as 4 first-round picks and 3 pick swaps for Harden. The immediate reaction was, oh my god, this is gonna break the league. And then, yeah. The Nets' big three only managed to play 13 games together. Even just Durant and Irving played 74 games together in the 4 years, or about 300 games they were on the same team. So what does that have to do with the Clippers? Well, I think they're going to have the exact same problem. The Kawhi and Paul George duo have only played 104 games together prior to this season, including the playoffs, with Paul George only playing 31 games in 2022 and Kawhi playing about 50 games a season. Granted, this 104 is a lot larger than the 13 of the Nets, and even with the 74 of KD and Kyrie, but it still highlights a possible similar problem. The Clippers, it seems, have fallen into the sunk cost fallacy with this duo, where they've tried to have success with Paul George and Kawhi for so long that they don't want to abandon it anymore, and instead proceed to say this year will be our year, every year. Getting Harden does not fix this problem. In the Clippers' defense, they didn't give up as much for Harden as the Nets did when they had this problem, and this was seen as the last Hail Mary for the Clippers with Kawhi. But again, it does not fix the issue. Now let's talk about actual play style. We've already seen the issues that Westbrook and Harden have playing together. They're old childhood friends, so the chemistry is there, but in the most basic sense, they have too similar of play styles. We've seen the issues Westbrook has with LeBron, and the same can be said with Harden. Westbrook and Harden both are great with the ball in their hand, facilitating the offense or playing ISO, meaning they're going to take minutes away from each other or make each other less efficient when they're on the floor at the same time. Both Harden and Westbrook on the floor together will make the floor feel too contested, just like Westbrook and LeBron. This also goes for everyone on the Clippers. PJ Tucker recently came out and had a quote saying, "There's not enough basketballs on the planet for this team." And I think that about summarizes it. Many people have blown this quote off as PJ Tucker being old and being mad that he's not getting his minutes, and him needing to accept his role that he's no longer a huge piece of a team. But I think his words need to be evaluated. The coach of the Clippers himself has said that team chemistry is a work in progress, even though they've already had years to hone in on it. Every person on the roster is better on ball and has been playing that way for years. It's difficult for them to flip the switch to play off ball this far into their career, and that will be the downfall of the team. As Harden is added to the roster, this only gets worse with the issues we just discussed. As PJ Tucker said, everyone is far too hungry for the ball on this team, and it simply falls apart. As for the 76ers, they're doing phenomenal. I stated before that the 76ers were doing great with Tyrese Maxey at point guard, facilitating play with Embiid. Harden was taking minutes away from Maxey, plain and simple. With Harden gone, Maxey's points per game are on fire, with him recently having a 50-point game. The 76ers have just been missing a bit of depth and extra pieces to help them get a little further in postseason. With this trade, the 76ers get that, adding Robert Covington, who was previously on the 76ers, a few extra players, and some picks as well. If the 76ers fail to have success with Embiid in the next 5 years, Embiid will then be 34, and they can use these picks to blow it up and prepare for a new future if the need comes. I think with Harden gone, we will see more of Maxey's shine, just like we did before the 76ers got Harden, and I think the 76ers will do well this season. If you want more of my thoughts on this, again, I discussed it in a podcast with Up the Score that I will link, but we'll have to wait and see how Harden does in the next few games and in the postseason. But I think it's almost time to blow up the Clippers and scatter Kawhi, Paul George, Russ, and Harden for whoever the Clippers get in return. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Be sure to like, sub, share the video around, all that good YouTuber stuff, as I'm trying to hit 750 by the end of 2023 and 1,000 by the end of 2024. I love you all, and peace out.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.